Everybody loves a good mystery, which is why, to everybody, I recommend Paranormasight. Yeah, that's right, everybody. Gather around. It's time to talk about one of the coolest mystery games to release, and its sequel, too. So, Paranormasight, to summarize, visual novel with puzzles, murder, and mystery. You enter the minds of different protagonists throughout their stories and examine the world all Google Earth style, gathering information to further your knowledge and bring you closer to the truth. Okay, my description might sound a little vague, but I truly do believe that these games are incredible and very, very much worth your time with about as little information as possible. And hey, they're even on mobile. I know you don't have an excuse now. You better go play it right now, even if it's $15. I'm telling you, if you're still not sold by the vague concept, let's jump into what the stories kinda look like. I'll be primarily focusing on the first game, Paranormasight, The Seven Mysteries of Honjo, mostly because it is the first one. Now, technically these games are disconnected stories, but there are some references and little things from the first one in the second one, so even if you're like, I don't know about this, I want to play the second one, I'd still recommend starting here with the 7 mysteries, just because you'll get more from the second one if you play the first one first. But whatever order works for you. I'm not your mom. Anyway, this game starts out with you playing as office worker Shogo Okie, out and about, trying to bring about the rite of resurrection, a spell that revives a dead person. The first major thing about this game is the magic, or the paranormal stuff. A main focus of these stories is the curses, or specifically cursed stones, which are kind of like JoJo stands if they were limited to killing people. That is to say, they are essentially tools that work under very specific circumstances to kill people, which is needed to bring about the rite of resurrection. At least that is the focus in the first game. Remember how I said there were multiple protagonists? Well, they're all trying to do the same thing and want to take out the competition. The game has a lot of tense battles between people where they're trying to read your next move, and you're not in the clear just because it's a visual novel. No, you've got to find a way to beat the odds and help those whose stories you are following. That's where the puzzle solving comes in. And this game has got some good ones. They get really creative, and you've got to think really outside the box, specifically in the fourth wall of that box. You know, you get what I'm saying? And these puzzles, they're not the only appeal of Paranormasight. The characters within these games are genuinely incredible. Nearly every single one of them is extremely compelling and very beautiful. Seriously, this art is gorgeous, and the dynamic posing does an incredible job at keeping these games interesting. Each character is given so much character, and despite how short these games are, around 10 to 15 hours depending on reading and puzzle solving skills, they're all so fun to follow. From Satsumi and Eryo, the buddy cop detective duo, to Haruwe and Richter, the most depressed woman, and Bubbles McGee. There are a lot of good characters, and that goes for the second game too. Avi and Cersei, my goats, of course. Now, to be frank, there is a lot of reading, and I don't just mean the typical conversational story progression reading either. There's a lot of Okay, how do I describe this in the best way possible? I'm gonna say there's a lot of Wikipedia article-style exposition dump reading, which is to say these games have a lot of reading for the sake of lore. Generally, I do think these games do a good job at not overloading too much of this information onto you, but it is required reading, and it will be on the test. Seriously. So if you're not the type to get super into world building, there are some slower parts, but even then, the reading isn't boring. It's like folklore or backstories or other stuff. Now, if nothing else, you've got to play these games for their final puzzles. They're some of the trickiest and most satisfying challenges to work your head around. It's that type of magic you can only experience once, you know? And that's probably what I love most, the work that goes into the twists and turns of this game, and keeping you on the hook. With mystery stories, it's very, very difficult to keep a balance between having a difficult story to solve and still having it enjoyable to follow. Paranormasight does an incredible job with this balancing act. At nearly every moment when I thought I knew the answer, the characters would be at the same conclusion, asking the same questions I was. Like I was being led right into thinking that exact question I was thinking. It's really well done, in my opinion. Now, did that convince you? Are you sold? Please, we've got 2 now, but I swear we need a franchise with these games, from the folklore to the mystery to the potential with the world created here. There's seriously some magic here, and I hope you decide to take the plunge into this game because I really, really need more of these, and if more people buy them, that increases the likelihood because that's the world we live in. But anyway, thank you. I also have theories, by the way, if you want to know them. There's an overarching mystery here, I just know it, okay? Do you want me to tell you about it? Okay, well, I'll tell you about it later. You gotta play the game first, alright? I still gotta flesh it out, gather all the evidence to make my case, and, gotta read that Mio manga first. Somehow.